Hey, hi guys, this is Bakkappa here. In this tutorial, I'll discuss about how to read the Excel file and how to store it in the hash map. So also we'll be creating the utility method that return us the hash map values. So at the end of this session, right, you will be learning how to create the utility method that returns you the hash map. So I'll move on to the Eclipse IDE now. So here I'm just creating the simple package. Before creating the simple package, I will explain you the simple Excel file what I'm having. So this is Excel file I'm having. So in the first, that is a zeroth column, we are having all the keys, and in the B column we are having all the respective values. So at the end of this session you'll be learning how to get all these values in terms of key and value pairs, right? So that's it. So quickly I'll create the one package here, that is a com dot test automation dot utility, utilities I'll mention. So that's it. You can click on the finish. So in this package I'll create one more class. So here class name I'm giving it as Excel utility. So that's it. Click on finish. So in this class we'll create the one utility method that return as the all the Excel data in terms of hash maps, right? So here I'm creating the one method public static of type map. So whenever I call this method, so this will return me the map type of object. So here I'm specifying it as a string type, that is a generic type. After that I'm giving the method name. So get map data. So that's it. So simply I'll specify the braces for this method. So you can import the map from the Java. So that's it. So you can add the return statement for this. So currently it will return it as a null. So at the end of the writing this utility method, we will specify the map type of value, right? So first what I'll do, so first I'm creating the object of file input stream. So here I'll specify the new operator. Then again I'll assign back to the file input stream reference variable. So that's it. So for this file input stream, we have to give the path of our Excel file. So I have placed my Excel file under the files folder. So name of that file is demo3.xlsx, right? So I'll go here. So inside the file input stream, you can import the file input stream class from the java.io. So under this I'll pass the path of the Excel file. So dot that represent the current project under this. So we have the files folder. After that we are having demo3 dot xlsx, right? So that's it, guys. So I'll surround this with the try and catch block. So that's it. Just I'll minimize the font size now. So after creating the object of file input stream, we have to create the object of XSF workbook. So here I'll use new operated followed by XS XSSF workbook. So this class object, it accepts the file input stream object. So simply I'll copy this reference variable. I'll pass on to the XSF workbook. Then it will return as the workbook type of object. I'll store that into the workbook type. So here I'll specify workbook. So this XSF workbook, it will return as the object of type workbook type. So simply I'm storing that into the workbook reference variable. You can import it from the Apache POI. So if you have not added this particular dependency, that is Apache POI, so you need to include the Maven dependency. Right, so here I have included the POI-OO-XML. So that is Apache POI Maven dependency for dealing with the Excel files. So that's it. Now we can import the workbook type. Now you can say the add throw declaration. That is fine. So by using the workbook object reference variable, I'll call to the one method called get sheet at, and I'll specify the index. So it is not responding my Eclipse ID, so it will take few seconds. So if you see here, get sheet at. So I'll refer the first two methods. The first one is the get sheet. If you are selecting this method, you need to pass the Excel file, that particular tab name. So if you're using get sheet at, you need to specify the index. So in my case, I'm using the get sheet at. So here I'll specify it as a 0. So why you have to specify it as a 0? I'll tell you. I'll go to the Excel file. So if you're having multiple sheets here, so you can specify that particular sheet name. If you have selected the get sheet, if you have selected get sheet at, you need to specify the index of that particular sheet. So in my case, I am having only one sheet, so that's the reason I have specified the 0. If you are having the data in the second sheet, you need to specify it as a 1, right? So that's all about the Excel. So this get sheet will return as the object of type sheet type. So I'll store that into the sheet type. So that's it. Now you can import the sheet object from the Apache POI. So that's it, guys. So in the line number first, we are reading this particular file, that is the Excel file, and after that we are passing this. After reading the data from the Excel, so we are passing on to the XSF workbook. So this particular class is coming from the Apache POI API, and by using that object, we are storing that into the workbook type. By using this workbook, we are trying to get the particular sheet. So based on the index what we have specified. So you can, in your case, you can try for the getting the particular sheet by using the sheet name as well, right? So once we got the sheet, so we have to check how many rows are there, because we have to iterate through all these rows, then only we can store key and the value pair, right? So whenever my loop runs, so in the first time I need to store this as a key and this as a value. Whenever my loop runs second time, so it has to store this key and this as a value, right? So for that reason, so I'll count how many rows are there in this particular sheet. So already we got the sheet. whatever the Excel file sheet we have to access. Now by using this sheet object, I'll call to the one method called get last row number. So this will returns me the integer type. So here I'll say last row number. So this is holding this particular integer variable is holding the value of how many rows are there in this particular Excel file, right? So once we have accessed this particular sheet and counted for how many rows are there in this sheet, so that's it. Most of the job is done. So simply I'll say save. So because I have modified something in that particular Excel file, so just I have saved it. So that's it. So here I'll use the simple for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than equal to this row number. So simply I'm iterating through all the rows which is there in our Excel file. So then I'll say I plus plus. So that's it. See guys, in the line number 21 we have accessed that particular sheet. So by using that sheet, what I will do inside this for loop, I'll say get row. So this returns me the of type row type. So simply I'll call to this method and I'll say at the end semicolon, then I'll store into the row type. So I'll say row. So that's it. So I'll explain this what this for loop is doing it here. So you can import the row type and simply I'll pass this I value into for the get row. So that's it. See guys, we are having this Excel file. So in this Excel file, so I'm having the total 10 rows of value. So that's the reason. So this for loop is I have written for. So it will run 10 times this for loop. So let's say I value is 0. So it will come to this particular row. So it will get this entire row value. So here I'm specifying it. So we need to get the 0th row value. So after getting it, we are storing that into the row type. By using this row type, what I will do, I'll call to the one method called get cell. Then here I'll specify the index. Let's say, so our first column, that is a 0th column, and this is a first column. So always index starts with a 0. So this is a 0th column and this is the second column. So if I wanted to read the first key value, so I need to specify the 0 as an index. So simply I'll specify by using the row object. I'm calling to the one method called get cell. So here I'm specifying it as index as 0. So this returns me the of type object, that is a cell type. So simply I'll say key cell. So that's it. You can import the cell as well from the Apache POI. So I need to import it from the org.apache.poi.ss user model. So that's it guys. So in the line number 29, right, we are getting the 0th column. So that means we are getting all the, whenever this loop increments, so we are keep on getting the next key value, right? So we are storing that into the key cell. So by using this key cell, what I will do, so now I'm talking about reading only the key values. Next I'll talk about how to read the value also, that for that particular key, right? So I'll use this key value and I'll say get string cell value. So this returns us this particular value from this Excel file. Let's say now it is I value is 0. First it will access this row, and now we are getting this key1 as the value. I'm storing that into the string type, so that is the key. So once I read the value from this Excel file, so I'll convert this into the, so simply I'll remove the spaces, that is a starting spaces and ending spaces by using the trim method. Then I'll store into the key type. Now you got to know how to read all the keys from this particular Excel. So my Excel got stuck, just a second guys. So I'll talk about now the how to read this value column also, right? So now we have already read how to read all the values, because I have written the simple for loop. It will runs starting from the key 1 and ending in key 10, right? So it will store all the key values in this particular key, right? So in the same way, I'll use this particular row object reference variable, then I'll say get cell. So here I need to specify the index. So our keys exist in the 0th column. So in the 0th column, so our value is exist in the first column. So that's the reason I'm specifying it as a 1 here, and I'm storing that into the cell type. Then here I'll say column. Sorry, so I'll say value cell. So that's it. In the similar way, I'll convert this value cell into the get string cell value. Then I'll say trim. I'll remove the starting and ending spaces. I'll store into the string type again. So this is our value. See guys, already we have seen so how to get that particular row. Here I'm saying, so whenever this loop starts, so it will get this particular row, because that's the reason I have specified the I value. So whenever this I value increments, that is 1, so it will get the second row. Whenever I value is 3, so it will get the row number 3. Sorry, whenever I number is 2, so it will get the row number 3, then so on, right? So whenever that particular row data is passed on to this particular get row, so by using this row object, I'm calling to the get cell. So here I'm specifying in the column number 0th I'm having the keys, and in the column number 1 I'm having the values. So if you look at here, only the difference is only the index what I'm passing to this particular get cell method. Then after that, simply we are getting the value by calling to the get string cell value. So I'll say here the trim. I think I have missed it. So that's it. So we got the key and the value, right? So after getting the key and value, simply I'll create the object of one hash map. So here I'm creating the object of hash map. Simply I'll put into that particular hash map object. So generic type, I'll specify it as a string and string type. Then again I'll assign back to the map type. Here I'll say map. So reference variable, I'm specifying it as a test data. Now we can import the any respective packages if you have not imported it. So I am importing the hash map now from the java.util. So by using this test data, so I'll use this test data object inside the our for loop. By using this, I'll say put. So now we can specify the key and value. So this is our key, and here I'll paste it, and this is our value. So I'll copy it and I'll paste it under this. So that's it, guys. So we are done with writing the simple utility. So that returns us the all Excel data in key and value format, right? So at the end, so we have to return this hash map object. So instead of this null, I'll replace with the hash map. So that's it, guys. So let me look why it is giving us the error. So we have to specify this object as a global variable. Simply I'll go here and I'll cut it and I'll paste it in the top. So that's it, guys. Currently we don't have any errors. So very simple method, utility method we have written. So that reads this Excel file, and it will at the end of this method we are returning the test data in the format of map type. So let us go to the another package. We'll create the class and we'll call this utility method over there, and we'll get the data in terms of key and value format. So here I'm creating one simple method, read Excel hash map. So that's it. I'll click on finish. Here, guys, I'm writing the public void test1, and I'll surround this method with the @test. Now you can import it from the test.ng. So that's it, guys. So I'll use this class name because we have created the static method. By using this class name, I can call to the get map data, right? So let us give the name of this method as get map test data, right? So I'll use this class name. So I'll call inside the test1. So here I'm calling to the get map test data. So this method return as the map type. So I'll store this into the map type. Here I'll say test data. So that's it. So once we got the map type of data, so let me surround this with the try and catch block. So here I'll write the simple for each loop, so that will display all the values from this particular map object. So we have called to this get map test data, and this is returning as the map type of data. So by using this object, here I'm writing one for each loop. So I'll pass this test data here, and I'll call to the method called entry set. So that's it. So this will return as the entry type. So simply I'll specify the generic type as string. Then I'll say entry. I can say the map also. You can import the entry type from the java.util.map. So that's it. So by using this map, I should be able to print all our keys and the values from this particular hash map. So here I'm writing system.out.println. So here I'm specifying key. So here by using this map, I'm calling to the one method called get key. So that's it. In the same way, I'll add one more attribute, that is a value type, value. So that's it. Here I'll add by using the plus symbol. Then I'll take this map object and I'll call to the method called get value. So this will get the, whenever let's say it gets the first key, so respective value will be printed by using the get value and the get key. So finally it will print us the all the keys and the respective values. So let's go and execute this test. So that's it, guys. So I'm executing it as a test.ng test. So let me close this Excel file. So if you look at here, so it is printing all the keys and the respective values. So if you look at here, so key 2, and we are having Selenium by Bakkappa, and if you look at that Excel file, so let me go to the Excel file. So if you look at here, let me compare this value with our console output. So key 2 is having Selenium by Bakkappa. You can observe the same in key 2 is having the Selenium by Bakkappa. And if you look at the key 1, it's having the value 1. So you can see the key 1 as the value 1. And next key 6. So test.ng by Bakkappa. So you can see the key 6, that is test.ng by Bakkappa. So at the end you can see the key 10 as the value 10. So in the Excel file you can observe key 10 as the value 10. So this is how we can read your Excel file and store it in the hash map type. So that's all I have in this session. If you like this tutorial, click on like and also comment in the comment section. You can share with your friends and colleagues. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Thanks for clicking on this tutorial. This is Bakkappa here. In this tutorial, I'll discuss about how to read the Excel file and how to read each of the columns and put into the hash map. Finally, I'll be discussing about how to get each test data in a different test cases. So I'll move on to the Eclipse IDE. So here I'll give an overview on the Excel file what I'm referring for. So under the files folder, I'm having demo for Excel file. So this is the header I'm having. So like this, you'll be having a number of columns. So just for the demo purpose, I have added these 4 columns. So I'll be having n number of test cases like this. Maybe for test case 1, we may need the different set of test data. For the test case 2, we may need the different set of test data. So for that reason, at the end of this session, we'll be learning how to read particular test case data and how to fetch in the Selenium Webdriver test.ng test cases. So simply I'll move on to our high level agenda. So this is the agenda I'm having. So first I'll be discussing about how to create the utility method that returns the list of hash map values. So within that I'll be discussing about how to count the number of columns, then how to read the Excel file headers and add it to the array list object. Then finally I'll talk about how to iterate through all the rows and increase the column count. So in this step we'll be learning how to read the test case data for each test cases and put into the hash map. Then finally, I'll be creating the multiple Selenium WebDriver test-ng test cases. So within that, I'll discuss how to create the utility method that returns the web browser instance. So this is the example I'm taking here. So let us say we have created the test one. So how to fetch the test case one test data from the Excel file. So like this for the test 2, we'll be creating the test 2 there. How to get the test case 2 test data from the Excel file. So like this, you'll be having n number of test cases. So then you'll be learning how to fetch the data from the Excel file. So simply I'll move on to the Eclipse IDE now. So before moving on to this particular session, so I would recommend you to go and watch this particular tutorial, that is read data from Excel and convert into the hash map. So if you have already gone through this tutorial, so it will be easy to understand. This is a part 2 tutorial on the top of that tutorial. So let us go ahead and create the utility method that returns the list of hash map values. So in our demo, so I'll be referring the file that is under the files folder. We are having demo for Excel file. So now I'm creating the one simple method. Sorry guys. So under the com.testautomation.utilities. So here already we have created Excel utility. So this particular class I have created while discussing this particular tutorial, that is read data from Excel and convert into the hash map. So I'll open the same class now. So simply I'll copy and paste this particular method. So we will reuse the most of the stuff same. So I'll just update the return type of this method as list of map values. So that's it. So here I'll say method name as get test data in map. So that's it guys. So after that, here I'll declare the one reference variable, that is a list of map values, and here I'll say the variable name as test data all rows. Then I'll assign the null value to this variable. So that's it. So here just I'll delete this particular hash map object. This we will create in the for loop while we are adding the each test case data in the hash map. So here I'll assign the null value to the test data map. So that's all guys. So after that, so here we are reading the Excel file. So under the files folder we had the demo4.excelSX file. So just I have renamed to the demo4. So rest of the things will be same. So let us jump into the first point. So we need to count the number of columns. So if you need to count the number of columns, you should be having the row number. So here we are referring the header as the 0th column. So if you read the 0th row, then you will automatically getting the number of columns from this particular sheet. So we need to read the 0th row, then we will get the total number of columns. So here I will use the sheet object. I'll say dot get I'll say get row. So inside this we have to mention the row number. So in our Excel file, so we are referring the 0th row. So simply I'm mentioning the row number as 0th. Then I'll say get last cell number. So this will returns the total number of columns in this particular row. So simply I'll store the value into the integer type. So I'll say last call number. So this particular line number, that is a line number 52, it will gives us the total number of rows in this particular sheet, and line number 54, it will give us the total number of columns. So that's it guys. Let us move on to the next point. So now we have read the total number of columns. Then now we have to read the Excel file header, and we need to add into the list type of collection, right? So simply I'll go to the Eclipse ID now. So here I'll create the object of the array list. So after reading these headers, that is a row number 1, row number 0th, after reading these headers, that is a test case ID, user, password and keyword, so on. After reading these headers, we need to add to the array list object. So that's the reason here I'm creating the object of the array list. Then simply I'll assign back to the list type. I'll say list here. That's it. That's it guys. So now we have the object of the array list. Now we have to read the header of this particular row, that is a 0th row. So here I'll write a simple for loop that iterates through all the columns, that is a column starting from the 0th column till the end of the column. So for loop. So here if I need to iterate through this particular column numbers, so I need to start from the 0th and I need to run till the end of the total number of columns. So already we have the last column number, so simply I'll paste it here. So this particular for loop is running from the 0th till end of the total number of columns, right? So once we have this, so we need the row number. So once we have the row number, we can read one by one all the column values here. For that reason, what I will do, I'll take the object of the sheet, then I'll say get row. So here I'll mention simply this particular row number, that is a 0th row. So that's it guys. So this return as the row type of value. I'll say row. That's it guys. So once we are having the row value, then simply you can read one by one this column values. First one is a test case ID, then user, password, keywords and so on, right? So simply you need to take the row reference variable, then you need to call to the one method called get cell. So this is expecting the integer value. So let us say so I'm referring for the 0th row, that is a row number 0th here. Whenever the I value is 0, so it will be pointing to this particular column value, that is a test case ID. Whenever the I value is 1, so it will point to the user, right? So how to get these values, right? So now our I value is 0, so now it will point to this particular test case ID column. So simply you need to pass the I value here. So whenever I increments, it will keep on getting the next columns from this particular row number. So this will return as the cell type of value. I'll say cell. So once you are having the cell value, then you can convert into the string value. So we'll say get string cell value. That's it. Then finally I'll say trim. So this is returning as the string value now. So here I'll say row header. So that's it guys. So whenever the I value is 0, so it will get the value of this particular column, that is a 0th column. Whenever I value is increment, so it will point to this particular user, then it will store into this particular string value. So keeps on it getting the next value in this particular 0th row. That's where we have specified here the 0th row. Once you started getting the values, you need to add this particular value to the this array list what we have created, the object of the array list. So simply I'll take the array list object here, then I'll say add, simply I'll pass the string value here. So after executing this particular for loop, at the end this particular list will be having the all these particular column value. That is a in the first index it will store the test case ID, in the next it will store the user, next it will store the password, and so on. So that's all about reading the Excel sheet headers and storing into the array list object. So next point is we need to iterate through all the rows, then we need to increase the column count so that we can get each column value from this Excel file. We can put it into the hash map, right? So let us iterate through all the rows from the Excel file. So here I'm writing, so let me delete all the stuff here which is not required now. Here I'm writing one simple for loop, int j equal to 1. Then I'll say j less than or equal to the row number. So we need to specify the last row number. Then I'll say j plus plus. So you might be having the question here, so why I'm starting this particular for loop from the 1. So if you look at our Excel file, right, so already 0th row is referred as a header. So our test data is starting from the row number 1. So that's the reason here I'm specifying it as a 1. Then it will run till the end of the row number. If this Excel is having 1000 rows, it will run the till end of the Excel file. I mean till end of the row number. So that's it. So if I need to read the row number first, so how do I read it? So you need to use the sheet object in the similar way how we have performed the action here, right? In the similar way you need to use the sheet object. Then you need to say get row. So row number, it should be keep on increasing whenever the j value increments. So that's the reason simply I'll pass the j value here. So that's it, guys. So this will return as the row type of value. So simply I'll say row. So that's it. So most of the stuffs are done. So once we are having the row value, so reading these column values are very easy. So the simple way what we have followed over here. So once getting the row, so simply we started reading all the column values just by adding one simple for loop. So till it is running till the end of the number of columns. In the similar way, here also I'll write the one more for loop, int k equal to 0, k less than. So I need to specify the last column number here. Because why I'm writing this particular for loop is, let me complete this for loop, then I will explain you. So that's it, I'll say k plus plus. So let us say, guys, so currently j value is 1, so it will get this particular row, that is a test case 1 test data entire row. So here I'm saying get row. Whenever the j value is 1, it will get the whole data, this particular whole row data. Once I got the whole row data, I need to keep on reading all the column values. First time, so I need to read the test case 1, second time I need to read the user, and the third time I need to read the password, and so on, like this, right? So for that reason, so this particular for loop is what? Increasing the column count, so that whenever we get this particular row value, we need to read each columns in that particular row. So that reason I'm writing this particular for loop here, right? In the similar way, So I'll use this particular row, then I'll say get cell. So simply you need to pass the key value here. So it is the same approach what here we have followed. So here we have just specified the row number directly 0th row. So because our header was there already in the 0th row, that's the reason we have specified the 0th row as constant value. If you look at here, so just we are passing the dynamic row number. So we are keep on increasing the row number, right? So that's it, guys. So you need to use the row reference variable. After that you need to call to the get cell, then this will return as the cell type of value. Here I'll say cell. So once you are having the cell value, then simply you need to call to the one method called get string cell value. So this will return as the string value. So simply I'll store that into the string variable, that is a column value. So that's it, guys. So this is all about reading the headers, and then we are reading the each rows, and we are storing that into the string type of variable. So if we look at our method, so at the end of the tutorial, so this method should return as the list of map values. So that's the reason. So we have not created the object of the array list and assigned to the this particular reference variable. Simply I'll copy this reference variable. Here I'll create the object of the new array list of type list of map values. Here I'll say map. Here I'll say string. Then I'll say string. So that's it, guys. So currently we are having the object created for the array list of map values, and whenever our row is increases, right, we have to create the hash map object or the tree map object, right? So that's the reason we can add each row data into the map type. So here I'll just copy this reference variable, that is a map reference variable. Inside this, whenever we add a row into the particular this object, that is a array list of map object, so here I'll create the object of the tree map. So why I'm creating the object of the tree map is, so simply it stores the values in a, so why I'm creating the object of the tree map is, so simply it preserves the insertion order. So that's it. So here I'll say string, then here I'll say string dot case in sensitive order. That's it, guys. So whenever we are having the column value, so we need to put into the hash map, right? So this is the hash map object I'm having. Simply I'll take this hash map object now. Here I'll say put. So we need to pass the key and the value here. Already value we are getting here for each column. So we need to get the key. So in this particular Excel, right? So always this 0th row act as the key, and rest of the rows will be acting as a value. So key will be always same and the value will be different for the different test cases, right? So here key, so already we have stored that into the array list object. So simply I'll use the list object, then I'll say dot get, then I'll specify the index. So if I need to get this particular index, that is a 0th index sheet header, so if I need, so simply I'll pass the index, so that is the k value here. So let us say we got the one row, that is row number 1. So simply it will get the whole row data here into the row type. So inside the for loop, so this particular for loop is for iterating through all the columns one by one like this. So first it will iterate through the this column, 0th column, and the B column, and the C column, and D column, and so onwards if we are having multiple columns, right? So here, so whenever the k value is 0, so simply this particular list what we have created here, right? So this will return as the, by using the get method, based on the index. Let's say k value is 0, simply it will return as the test case ID. Whenever the k value is 1, so simply it will gets the user as the header, that is a key here, and we need to simply pass the value here. So already we are having the value here, so simply I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. So that's it, guys. So simply I'll say string conversion. So now, so whenever we read each row, we are adding into the this particular hash map values. That's a map type of values, right? So return type of this particular method, right? So list of map values. So that's the reason we have created the object of this particular array list. If you look at the line number 64, right? So simply I'll copy this particular object, then I'll paste it here. I'll say add. So if you look at here, you're getting the multiple options, right? So the very first option, that is a map type. So you can add the map type of values. So if you look at this line number 72, whenever we read the each row data, we're adding each value, each column value into the this particular test data dot put. That is where we are passing the each column value, and we are storing that into the key and value format. So here I'll say just add map type. So here I'll pass the object of this particular test data. So that's it, guys. So at the end, simply I'll pass this particular, simply I'll return the test data all rows. So advantage of this particular method, right? So at the end of this particular method, so this particular reference variable will be holding the all the test data, and where the key will be acting as a test case ID and rest of the values. So based on the index what we have specified in our test cases. So that's all about implementing this particular method. So let me give you the summary once again here. So we have created one reference variable of type list of map values. Then we have assigned the value as a null here. After that, we are reading this particular Excel file, that is demo4.xlsx file. And after that, we are counting the number of columns by using the 0th row. Then we are reading the each header, and we are adding to the array list object here to refer that as a key, and the rest of the values are the value. So that will be acting as a value in the hash map. Then I have created an object of the array list of type list of map values. Then so here I'm just iterating through all the rows which are there in this particular Excel file, starting from the 1 till end of the rows. Then inside this particular for loop, every time whenever the new row comes, here I'm creating the object of the tree map. So I'm assigning back to the map type of object. And if you look at this particular for loop, so this is for iterating through this particular columns. Let us say first time it will point to the A column, then B column, and the C column, and so on, whenever this k value increases. So that's it. After reading each column data, we are adding into the hash map. Then finally I'm taking this hash map value, then we are putting into the test data for all rows. So this is capable of holding the list of map values. Finally, I'm returning the test data for all rows. So that's it, guys. So that's all about implementing the utility method that returns the list of hash map values. So let us jump to the final point. Let's create the multiple test Selenium WebDriver test cases. There will implement the one utility method that returns the browser instance. So simply I'll go to the one of the package called com.testautomation.demo. There I'm creating a one class. So here I'm mentioning the class name as read Excel test data. So that's it. I'll click on finish button. So here I'm creating a one method public void. Here I'll say test1. So I'll surround this particular method with the @test. So simply I'll import it from the org.testng.annotations. So that's it, guys. So as we insert this particular class, that is Excel utility.java. So this is a public static method. So that's the reason I can use the Excel utility class name dot. So simply I'm calling to the implemented method. So here I'll say get test data in map. So this return as the list of map values. So here I'll say list of type map. Then here I'll say the string, comma. Then I'll say string again. So here I'll say test data in map. So that's it, guys. Now I can import the related packages from the java.util. So let me surround this particular line with the try and catch block. That's it, guys. So now this is a test one, right, guys? If you look at this example, so test one will get the test data of test case one, and test two will get the test data of test case two from the Excel file, right? So let us do the first one. Test one we have created in our read Excel test data. So where we have created the test one as a test method. So let us try to read the data from the Excel. So let me read the test case one data. So let me read the user one and the password one. So by using these two key values, first one is the user as a key and the second one is the password as a key. Then automatically we should be able to get the respective values, that is the user one and the password. So here I'll say I'll use the object of the list of map values. So here I'll write system.out.println. So simply I'm using this object of the test data in map. Then I'll say get. So if you look at here, right, so it is asking us to specify the index. So always array list, it stores the data starting from the 0th index. So our test case 1 is present in the 0th index. So simply I'll select this method. Here I'll mention the 0. Then I'll say one more get, where you need to pass the object key. So what was our key? So our key was the user. So this one was one key and the next key was password. Simply I'll copy this line and I'll paste it one more time. So here I'll say password. So that's it, guys. So simply I'll close this Excel file. So let me execute this testng test case. So after this, we will be creating the multiple Selenium WebDriver TestNG test cases, and we'll execute the multiple test cases, how to read the data from the Excel for multiple test cases. So if you look at here, right, our test case got passed, there are 0 failures, and if you look at the console output, so it is printing the user1 and the pass one. So same data is present in our Excel file also. If I open the demo for Excel file, for test case 1, we are having the value as a user1 and the pass one as a password value. So what I will do now, I'll create the multiple test cases now. So before adding the multiple test cases, let us implement the utility method that return as the web browser instance. So simply I'll go here. So inside the com.testautomation.utilities, I'll create the class called browser utility. So that's it. I'll click on finish. So here I'm creating the one public static. So return type I'll mention as a WebDriver type. Then I'll say get driver. So that's it, guys. You can import the WebDriver from the Selenium. So this method is accepting the parameter 1, that is a browser. So I'll take the browser here. So now we can say the return type, because we have specified the return type as a WebDriver. So here I'll say WebDriver equal to driver equal to null. So that's it, guys. So I'll take this particular browser string variable. Here I'll say if browser dot equals if it is equals to the Chrome, then you can return the Chrome object, right? So for launching the Chrome browser, you need to specify you need to set the property where exactly the Chrome driver exists. That is the location of the Chrome driver. Then simply you can create the object of the Chrome driver. Then assign back to the driver type. So already we have created the driver variable, reference variable. Simply I'll assign back to the driver type. So that's it. You can import the Chrome driver. So that's it, guys. So simply I need to call to this particular method by using the class name dot get driver. There we need to pass the browser name. So we can add the multiple browsers. In my case, just I have added the Chrome browser. So if I pass after calling to this method, if I pass the Chrome, so simply it will return as the Chrome driver object. So you can specify else, then you can simply specify the another browser also. So let us say IE. So rest of the things you can perform inside this particular else method. So if you're passing the value as parameter as IE, so it will come to this particular statement and it will gives you the IE driver if you're working with the IE browser. So in my case, I'll be calling to this method and I'll be passing the Chrome, then simply it will return as the Chrome driver object. So I'll use the browser utility class dot in our test cases. I'll say get driver. So simply I'll pass the Chrome here. So after calling to this method, so this particular method is returning as the WebDriver object, right? So I'm assigning back. So here I'll say private Here I'm just creating the reference variable of the WebDriver type. Now you can import the WebDriver in the current class. So that's it, guys. So I will copy this particular reference variable and I'll paste it here. That's it. So after calling this method, so this method is returning as the of type object, that is a driver type, WebDriver type. By taking this particular driver, so let us quickly discuss the test case what we are automating now. So simply I'll open the google.com now. After opening this browser, I'll enter the google.com. After that, simply we'll enter something in this particular search box. After that, we can simply hit the enter. So this particular method, so it will launch us as the Chrome browser. After that, by using the driver object, I'll call to the one method called get. So simply I'll specify the URL of this, that is a google.com. So let us inspect this particular search box. So we'll enter something here and after that we'll hit enter from the keyboard. So here I'll say inspect. So our code is ready till now. So it will launch us the Chrome browser, then it will enter this URL. After entering the URL, or I will type something in this particular search box. So here I'll write a simple XPath. Here I'm taking the attribute as a title and the value as a search. So I'll press Ctrl F and I'll say 2 forward slash then star. So inside that I'll say title equal to, in the single quotation I'll say search. So if you look at this, so it is matching with the only one element, so that is a search box. So simply I'll copy this XPath. So here I'll use the driver object dot find element by XPath. So simply I'll specify the XPath here. Yeah, then here I'll send the send keys. See guys, for reading the user and the password, we have used the just user as a keyword. If I open this Excel, right? So in our case, just we have read the user and the password. So what I'll pass, so I wanted to pass this as a value in the search box, that is the here in the google.com where search box is there. I need to pass the Selenium by Bakkappa. So for that reason, simply I'll use this keyword, that is a keywords. So I'll use the same test data in map dot get 0 and get. I'll simply paste it here. Only the key will be different. So the row what I'm getting is same, that is a 0th row, and only the key I need to pass the different. So simply I'll go here and I'll say here keywords. So that's it guys. So simply I'll remove this system.out.println properties. So after entering this value, so I'll use the same driver.find element dot. I'll use the same line, that is a driver.find element by XPath. By using this, I'll say send keys. So inside this, I wanted to hit enter. After entering this value, that is the Selenium by Bakkappa. So I wanted to hit enter from the keyboard. Sorry. So here I'll say keys dot enter. So that's it guys. So after entering this particular value, that is a Selenium by Bakkappa, so it will press the enter from the keyboard. After that, I'll wait for a few seconds. Here I'll say thread dot sleep. Here I'll say 5000 seconds. Sorry, milliseconds. Simply you can say the add declaration. That is fine for now. Then finally I'll use the driver object dot quit. So that's it, guys. So let us run this particular test case, then we'll add the multiple test cases like this. So like this we'll create the multiple test cases and how to fetch the data for each test cases has a different test data from the Excel file. So I'll close this and I'll say don't save. So this is our test one. So let us execute this test. Let me cancel it and save it here. So this test case, simply it opens the Chrome browser, then it enters the google.com, then it will enter the Selenium by Bakkappa in the Google search box. So for some reason it is getting failed. So let me check what was the reason. Just a second, guys. So if you look at here, right? Let me maximize this. So if you look at here, right, in this particular method, that is a get driver, here after invoking this method, we are passing still as a null. So we have to pass the object of this particular driver. So after assigning Chrome driver object, we need to pass this particular driver object to the whenever anyone called to this particular method. So that's a simple change. So let us execute this test case now. So it should work this time. So if you look at this, it is already launched the Chrome browser, then it has entered this particular value which is there from the Excel, then it has pressed the enter, then it's waiting for a few seconds, then simply it's closing the browser, right? So if you look at here, there are 0 failures, total test run is 1, and that is passed. So let us add the multiple test cases like this now. So like this, I'll add the test case 2 as well, that is a test 2. So after that, let us say, let me open the Excel file. So I wanted to read the test case to test data. So now in the first test case, it has to pass the Selenium by Bakkappa. In the second test case, it has to pass the Selenium C# by Bakkappa, right? So what I will do, I'll go here in the test cases. So simply I'll change this particular index. I'll increase to the 1. So in this particular index only, I'm having the test case to test data from the Excel file. So simply I'll close this. So that's it, guys. So the first test case will execute by passing the test data as a Selenium by Bakkappa, and our test 2 will run with that different set of test data. So here I'm passing the Selenium C# by Bakkappa. So let us execute this Selenium WebDriver test.ng test case. So now it will execute the 2 test cases. Now if you look at here, right? So first it has passed the Selenium by Bakkappa, then it is closing the web browser. So now the second test case is running. So if you look at here, right? So it has passed the Selenium Selenium C# by Bakkappa. Here you go. So if you look at here, all our 2 test cases got passed. So let me open the Excel file. So we'll add one more test cases. See, guys, so what I'll do, I'll add one more test case, that is a test 7. So we'll pass the data in the Google search box as a Selenium grade by Bakkappa. So let us add the test case 7 now. So simply I'll copy this test case. Here I'll say the test as a 7. So simply I'll pass the index here. So that is the 6. So this particular list of map values always starts from the 0th. If you look at our Excel file, we are having a test case 7, but we are passing the index as a 6th, so that it will get the respective value. So let me close this Excel. So that's it, guys. So what I will do now, we are having the total 3 test cases. That is a test 1, where we are passing the data from our Excel, that is Selenium by Bakkappa. Then in the second test, that is a test 2, we are passing the Selenium C# by Bakkappa. Then in the test 7, we are passing the different test data, that is Selenium grid by Bakkappa, right? So simply I am executing this whole suite now. Now the first test case is invoking. If you look at this, Selenium by Bakkappa. Now the test 2 execution started. If you look at here, right, Selenium C# by Bakkappa. Now the test 7 execution started. So if you look at here, right, Selenium grid by Bakkappa. So that's it, guys. If you look at the console output, we had our test run is 3. There are 0 failures. If you look at here, all the test cases are passed. So this is how exactly you can read the different test data from the Excel for different test cases. So that's all I have in this session. If you like this tutorial, click on the like and also share with your friends and colleagues. If you are having any feedback, please comment in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Hi friends, this is Bakkappa here. In this tutorial, I'll discuss about how to implement the data-driven framework using TestNG unit testing framework and Excel file. So let me explain you what is data-driven testing altogether. So let us take the one of the use case where user is opening the one of the browser and entering the google.com. Then in the search box, user is searching first time Selenium by Bakkappa. This is the one use case. And the second use case, again it is same. So user is opening the one of the browser and entering the google.com. Then in the search box, second time user is entering the Selenium C# by Bakkappa. The third time, again user will open the Chrome browser or any of the browser and entering the google.com. In the search box, user is searching with the Selenium grid by Bakkappa. So if you look at these 3 scenarios, the flow is same, only in the search box user is entering the different keywords. So in this case, we should not implement the three test cases. We need to implement only one test case and we need to implement the one data provider so that our test case remains same. So we can pass the test data from our Excel file, or it can be the JSON file, or it can be the XML file. So let us implement the data-driven framework using the Excel file in our case. So I'll simply move on to our Eclipse IDE now. So under the files folder, So we are having demo for Excel file. So I'm taking the same use case here. So user will be opening the Chrome browser, then entering the google.com. Then here first time user will enter Selenium by Bakkappa, and then second time they will enter Selenium C# by Bakkappa, and then third time our script will enter Cucumber BDD by Bakkappa, and so on. So till it reaches the end of the rows. So this is our use case. So let us go to our Eclipse IDE now. Under com.testautomation.demo, I'm creating a simple class here. So here I'm specifying the class name as data driven testing. So I'll click on finish button. So in this class, I'll be implementing one test case and one more is data provider. So one data provider and one our test case. So inside the data provider method, we'll be having a logic to read this Excel file, and we can pass one row test data each time. So let us go to our class. So quickly implement the test method, then we'll implement a later point of time this test method. So simply we are just declaring it now, public void test1. So I'll surround this method with the @test. So you can import it from the org.testng.annotations. So this is our test case. So this is where we are writing the logic, where it opens the Chrome browser, and after that it will enter the google.com. Then it will search with the different keywords whenever we pass the different set of test data from the data provider. So we need to implement the data provider first. So let us implement the data provider. So always return type of the data provider method is two-dimensional list of objects. So here I'm writing public static object. So that is just now I have mentioned it always returns the 2D list of objects. So here I'm specifying the method name as test data, get test data. So we need to surround this method with the @data provider, so that this particular test will understand that there is a data provider. So we'll be getting the test data from the data provider. So for this data provider, we need to give the name as well, so that this particular name will be used in the while executing our test cases. So inside this, you can specify the name. So in our case, I'm specifying get test data for test1. So now you can import data provider from the org.testng annotations. So if you look at this, return type of this method is object, that is the object of 2D array. So simply you can add the return statement for now, null. So in this data provider, we have to implement the logic that reads the test data from this Excel file, and it has to get all the test data, and it has to pass one row test data at the same time. So each time it has to pass, first time it has to pass test case 1 row, and the second time it has to pass test case 2 row. So like this, so on, right? So for that reason, so you need to go to my channel and you need to watch this tutorial @test1, @test2, and so on. Test10 we can create it. So where I have shown how to read the different test data from Excel file for each test case in Selenium automation testing. So after watching this tutorial, so you will get an idea how to get the test data from this particular Excel file. So we have implemented the one utility method that returns the all this test data from the Excel file. So while discussing this particular tutorial, So simply I'll go to the one of the utility method. So what we have created under com.testautomation.utilities. So where we have created a Excel utility.java. So under this we have created a method called we have created a method called get test data in map. So return type of this method is list of map values. So simply I'll call this method, then I'll store the all the test data in our list of map values. So simply this is a static method. By using the class I can call to this particular method. So this method will return us the all the test data from this Excel file. So this utility method we have implemented while discussing this particular tutorial. So simply I'll go back to the data driven testing Java class. So here I'll use that class name dot. Here I'll say get test data in map. So if you look at the second method, so this is returning us the list of map values. So I need to assign back to the list of map values. Here I'll say map. So here I'm giving the just a reference variable name as a test data all rows. Now you can import it from the java.util package list and map. So that's it guys. So I'll surround this method with the this line with the try and catch block. So that's it. So if you look at the return type of this data provider is object of 2D array. So here I will be creating the object of 2D array, new object. We need to specify the size here. So what is a row and what is a column? To get the row numbers from this particular Excel file, so I need to use the test data all rows. So this is where holding the all the test data from our Excel file. I'll use this. So here we have to specify the rows. So here I'm as it is a collection type, if I need to count how many rows are there, here I'm using one method called size. So this will return me the total count from the this particular collection object. And after that here I'll say 1. So 1 column and these many rows. So again I'll assign back to the 2D object type object. Here I'll say obj array. So finally we have to return the object of 2D array. So that's the reason I'll declare this variable as a global so that we can return at the end. So after declaring this variable, I'll assign the value as null. So simply I'll remove this. So this particular reference variable I'll return at the end. So that's it guys. So this particular reference variable now holding the all the data from this particular Excel file now. So we need to pass one row at a time, right? So let us say first time we had to pass the test case 1 test data, second time we had to pass the test case 2 data and so on, right? So for that reason what I will do, by using this test data all rows, I'll get one by one all the data by using the get method. So for that here I'm writing one for loop, so that runs starting from the zeroth row till the end of the row in our Excel file. So here I'm writing on for loop, so starting from 0 until end of the number of rows. So if I need to count the number of rows, I'll use this object and I'll say dot size. So this will return me the number of rows. So that's it, guys. So again, I'll use the test data for all rows. So if I need to get the one by one test data from the list of map values, so if I need to get any value from the list of values, so I need to use the get method. So here we need to pass the index. So here simply I'll pass the I value. So after passing it, we have to assign back to the object array, because at the end we are returning the object array, right? So simply you can use this. So this is the 2D array. So first one, so we need to pass the I value here, and the second one you can specify it as a 0. So this for loop is for, let me delete all the stuff here. So let me give you the summary once again. So we have created a one test method and one more @data provider method. So within that we are reading the test data from our Excel file. So we have called one utility method, so that is returning as the all the values of type list of map values. By taking this value, so we have created a 2D object array by mentioning the size of the array and column here. And after that, so after getting all the data from our Excel file, we have to access one by one row at a time. So if you look at this particular line number, that is line number 28. Here I'm getting one by one rows. I'm simply assigning back to the object array. Finally, I'm returning this object array in the line number 33. So that's all about the data provider. So let us go to our test case, how we can get each row test data and we can perform the data driven testing. So this is our test case. So already we have specified the data provider name. So we need to copy this data provider name. So under that, under the test case, you can say data provider equal to, and simply specify the data provider name. Otherwise, if you have not specified this particular name, so simply you can specify the get test data inside this particular string. That is you need to pass the value as a data provider. So after that, so whenever we pass the data from this particular data provider, we need to accept it under the test case. So first time I'll pass the enter this test data, that is Selenium by Bakkappa n. What I will do, so it has to accept it. Whenever the data is passed from the data provider, we have to accept it under our test cases, right? For that reason, here under the test1 method, simply here I'm getting map type. So of type, so generic type, it is an object type. If you look at here, right? So it is an object type. So simply I'm specifying it as an object. Then here I'll say object. So here I'm specifying the reference variable name. So that's it, guys. So basically I'll be using this one as a key and rest of the values. So first time whenever I use this keywords as a key value, then you will be getting the Selenium by Bakkappa for the first time. Whenever the second time test is getting executed, if I have used the keywords as a key, then I'll get the Selenium C# by Bakkappa and so on, right? So we got the map object. So by using the key, we can access the value from this particular Excel file. So that's all about creating the data provider and getting the test data. So now the part is test case part. What user is doing here, right? User is opening the Chrome browser, and after that they're entering the google.com. Then user is entering the keyword here, and after that they are pressing the enter from the keyboard. After that they are waiting for some time, then simply closing the browser. So that is our use case. So it depends on the project and what you are working on. So in my use case, so I'll be performing same scenario, opening the browser, and after that we're entering the google.com. Then some keywords will be entered in this search box. After that we'll be pressing enter from the keyboard. Then we'll wait for some seconds. Then we'll close the web browser. So first I need to open the Chrome browser. After that we have to enter the URL. For that reason, I'll go to the browser utility under the com.testautomation.utilities class. So if I open this my class, so I'll be calling to this utility. So this utility again we have implemented while discussing this particular tutorial, that is a read different test data from Excel for each test cases. So this is a static method. I'll use the class name dot get driver. After that we have to pass the browser name. If you pass the Chrome, then simply it will return as the Chrome driver. So if you are working with other browsers, so you can implement the rest of the browsers like this. Sorry guys, like this. You can implement the rest of the browser functionality. So I'll go back to the data driven testing. So here I'll say browser utility dot get driver. So this return as the driver object. So here we need to pass the Chrome, so that I'll get the Chrome driver. So after getting the Chrome driver, I need to assign back to the Webdriver type. Now you can import the Webdriver here. So that's it. So after getting the Chrome driver, so we need to enter the URL. So I'll take the driver object here. By using this, I'll say get. So simply we have to pass the URL here. So here I'm passing the URL. After getting the URL, we need to after opening the browser and after entering the URL, so we need to identify this search box. So let us identify this. Sorry guys, let me inspect this search box now. So there are multiple attributes. Here I'm using the title as a attribute and search as the value here. So here I'm writing one simple XPath @title equal to so let me write one more time, title equal to search. So if you look at this, so it is highlighting this search box. Simply I'll copy this XPath and here I'll use driver object dot find element by XPath. So simply you can copy and paste that XPath. So here I need to use the send keys because first time I need to pass the Selenium by Bakkappa n, then second time I need to pass Selenium C# by Bakkappa n, then third time I need to pass Cucumber BTD by Bakkappa n, and so on like this. So inside the send keys we have to pass the data. So already if you look at this method, so we are getting that test data in terms of map. Simply I'll use this keyword, that is a reference variable of the map object. By using that I'll say get. So simply we have to pass the key value here. So sorry guys, key. So this is a keyword what we are having a key value here. So that is our key. So simply I'll copy this and I'll say key. Then I'll assign back to the string type. Here I'll say search keyword. So you need to convert this into the string type. So I'll cast it. So that's it guys. So simply I'll take this string variable value and I'll pass on to this particular send keys. So that's it, guys. So after opening the browser, we have entered this URL, then we have identified this search box and we have entered some value into this search box. After that, we have to press enter from the keyboard. So we can use the same XPath. So here I'm using the same XPath here. By using that, I'll say send keys. So inside the send keys, I'm passing keys dot enter. Sorry guys, let me say enter. So after entering this search keyword, so simply it will press the enter from the keyboard. After that, we'll wait for some seconds so that execution can be visible. So here I'll say 5000 seconds, that is a milliseconds. Now you can add the throws declaration, that's fine. So after that, I'll use the driver object, then I'll say quit. That's it, guys. So first we have implemented the data provider, so that returns the data from this particular Excel file, one row at the same time, right? So after that, in our test case, we are using the data provider name, what we have given here, and after that, here we are just using the reference variable of type map type. By using the map type, so I'm getting the test data from the Excel file by using the key here. So this is our use case. So let us execute this test case and we'll see so how it is going to work. So it should pass all the values from this particular column. So currently we are referring to the only keywords. So if you are referring for multiple columns, that is also fine. Simply you need to use the key end, that's a key. After using the key, you can get the test data like this and simply pass on to the by using the send keys. So let us execute this test case now. So let me close this Excel. If you look at, guys, so it is launched the Chrome browser, and first it is searching with the Selenium by Bakkappa. Now it is closed the web browser. So this is our second test. So if you look at here, so it is searching with the Selenium C# by Bakkappa. So if you look at here now, it is searching with the Cucumber BDD by Bakkappa. So now it is searching with the APM by Bakkappa. So now it is searching with the testng by Bakkappa. So now it is searching with the NUnit by Bakkappa. So now it is searching with the Selenium grid by Bakkappa. So if you look at this, so now it is searching with the git by Bakkappa. So basically it is searching with all the different keywords what we have mentioned in our Excel file. So this is how we can implement the data-driven testing. So that is a data-driven framework in Selenium automation testing. So this was the last keyword, that is Bakkappa GTech Key Automation Laboratory. So if I go to the console here, right? So total test run is total 10. So if you look at our Excel file, so total we are having the 10 test cases. So that's the reason in the console total test run is 10 and there are 0 failures and 0 skips. And if you look at here, right, passed, and it is displaying all the map values. First time it has passed this entire row, that is of Selenium by Bakkappa, and then password as a pass1 and test case ID as a test case 1, and after that user as a user 1. So that is a one test case, that's a one set of test data what we have passed, and the second set of test data Selenium C# by Bakkappa and so on. So all the test data what we have from our Excel file, so it has passed one row at the same time. So each time it has passed the different test data from our Excel file. So this is how we can perform data-driven testing. So that's all I have in this session. If you like this tutorial, click on like and also comment in the comment section if you are having any queries and feedback. So also share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial.